Hello my friends, this is today's review. It is the bread maker, Silvercrest kitchen tools, and it's the brand that's made by Lidl. So I've taken it out of the box already, so I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what it looks like. Okay, what's in the box? Well, it's this. It's quite pretty, quite sleek. Don't know what that is. Oh, is it supposed to be that hard to get it out? Well, let's do the review, shall we, and find out. Okay, here it is from a different angle for you. So it's got a, I don't know, tin inside, and I'm assuming that just comes up. But it'll need to be washed anyway, so it will have to come out at some stage. Right, so we've got a little cup here, little metal thing, scoop, that'll need to be washed as well. Something else in paper, what is that? Ah, okay. So I'm assuming this is what mixes the bread in the machine. And because there's two of those sticky up things inside, that means there'll be two of those mixers. When I borrowed Mum's the other day, that only had one. It was a square inside though. And there's a cup with measurements on there. And that is everything that is in the box. Just had a quick look in the book. I know, they're amazing, aren't they? And you just pull this out, apparently. Oh, Christ. Right, there. So that's what it looks like. That's the bottom. Now I'm going to give this a soak in the sink, just to make sure it's nice and clean and food safe before we fill it up. Okay, my friends, this is what is in the box. There's two of these things that look like noses. Two noses. And there's two little rods that stick out, and the noses go on the rods. Measuring spoon, measuring cup. I have washed these. I'm going to dry them in a minute with a tea towel, because obviously flour and salt will stick to them if they're wet, so we don't want to be doing that because we'll get inaccurate measurements. So in the box you've got your quick start guide, which of course I'm not going to read the instructions, I'm just going to use that. Isn't that what everyone does? That's why they make them. There's a booklet with more in-depth directions. One thing I'll advise you to do is always stick the date on the front of that when you bought it, because if it'll still be under warranty for 3 years. So just write the date there so you know how long you've had it for. And then you get in touch with Lidl. They're really good. Anything like that, you need to change it. And there is also a recipe book. So for today, for the very first time that I've used it, I'm going to make fluffy white bread. No, I'm not. I'm going to make classic white bread. And I'm not joking, there's 16 settings on this. And I'm going to reel all these off now. So we've got potato bread, sunflower seed bread, herb bread, sourdough bread, beer bread, cornbread, rustic bread, pizza bread, fluffy white bread, paprika bread, classic white bread, honey bread, poppy seed bread, wholemeal bread, cracked wheat bread, wholemeal rye bread, spelt bread, Pumpernickel bread. Oh my God. Multigrain cereal bread. Rye bread. Chocolate bread. Raisin and walnut bread. Sweet bread. Raisin bread. Pumpernickel bread. My, have you ever heard anything like it? Dark treacle. It's probably really nice. Right, so shall we go for classic white bread? Because that's just got milk or water, butter stroke margarine, salt, flour, sugar and yeast. Funny thing here though, it says you need 6 grams of yeast for that. I got my yeast sachets from Lidl and they're 7 grams. So I'm not going to fart around over grams. 1 gram is not going to do me too much damage, surely. Even though this is from Lidl as well, but I suppose some things need more than others, don't they? More yeast than others. You can buy other types, can't you? These are like sachets, these were. It's just easier. Right. Because the fluffy white bread has got eggs in it. Butter or margarine. I did one the other day and it had oil in it instead of margarine or butter. So I don't know why Lidl's recipes haven't, but I am going to stick with Lidl's recipes. Just because I know there'll be the right size loaves and the right amount of ingredients. So that's what I'm going to do. Right, my friends. I've got everything that I need here. I've had a quick look through the book. Not a massive look, but the basic bread that I'm doing today, I've read up on. None of the other fancy, what was it called? Pumpernickel, whatever. So, because you get 2 books, that's the recipe book and that's the bread maker instruction book. So what I've done, because they're so big, I've highlighted the recipe and the ingredient order that you need to put them in. So it's quick for me to find. So I find that's a pretty good idea, big time saver really. So, according to this book, you have to start with liquids, sugar and salt, then add flour and finally yeast. See, this is a totally different recipe direction than I had the other day. And the one that the other day, with the oil, that turned out really nice. But this one will give me a loaf which is 1,500 grams. It's also got the recipe for smaller amounts. So if you want a loaf that is 1,000 grams, 1,250 grams or 1,500, which I'm doing. So obviously the quantities vary as you're going up. But I think pretty much the yeast is about the same. I'm tempted by this egg one, you know. I'll see what the classic comes out like. I will actually highlight the fluffy white one as well. And then I'll be able to find it easily. Right, so start with the liquids. And just put these side by side so I can see. It's a bit stupid, it's not all on the same page really, but it is what it is. Right, start with liquids. So I measured out my water. So I need 400 mils of water, which I measured out. Butter, stroke margarine, 3 tablespoons. Now, what's a tablespoon in weight? Can anybody tell me? Or do you know as much as I do? Right, well, this is a tablespoon. I'm just going to... Because you don't want to put too much in, do you? You want to get it right. So that is 1. See, I don't want to lose any of the dose, that's the thing. Ugh. One, 2. God. 3. Oh my God. Have to be sufficient. All right. Salt. 2 teaspoons of salt for this amount that I'm doing. This is going to be interesting. One, 2. Flour, 750 grams. It's a lot of flour, isn't it? Bloody hell. You watch it go bloody everywhere now. Right, let me do to 600. And then do 150. What did I do there? 600, yeah. And do 150. Yeah. Oh, bob on. And finally the yeast, isn't it? Then flour and finally yeast. So if you think about it, a bag of flour would do 2 loaves. Big ones anyway. Right, and then the yeast, I'll just sprinkle that on top. Nearly forgot to put the sugar in. I nearly forgot to put the sugar in. In the bread. 2.5 tablespoons. That is a tablespoon, isn't it? That's a tablespoon. Yeah. 1. See everything just piled in there. Oh God, is that right? I think that's it. So turn it on. Oh, there's a button somewhere under. Oh, there. Underneath it is. I read that in the instructions. Right. So this has to go on the program French, which it tells you at the top of the category, if you like. So that's to go on program 2, French. So I need to find how to do that. Is it that? Is it something as simple as that? No. What's that? Oh, I don't know. Right. So let me just check the pissing instructions again. Quick start. That's what we want. Bread weight. Press E button. That's E. And let me just turn it off and on again because I should have read this, shouldn't I? Right, okay. So, B. Bread weight. Press the button repeatedly until the arrow 1 is below the desired weight. So we're going for 1,500, so that's right. Browning level. Stroke quick mode, setting brown level, light, medium, dark or quick mode. So that's that one. Is that dark? What's that? Oh, that must be rapid. So we'll go for medium. Start, stop button. Briefly press this button once to start and stop the device. A beep sounds. Timer buttons, timer delay bacon, program button. Oh, select the desired baking program here. So we're 2. We want to go for French. So we're on French, we're on medium. Oh no, we want a different weight. Don't you be tricking me now. Right, 1,500. 1,500, medium, on French. And I assume we just press go. It should start rattling around in a minute, I'm guessing. Now there is a function on this and it means that you can take the propeller things that mix the dough, you can take those out before it bakes, so I'm going to do that now. So what I'm going to do is take this out. She says. And then it says, with floured hands, remove the... Is that hot? No, it's not. Remove the dough from the thing. There's one. It's going to go back in now.
Jack, the curtain's shut.
It goes back down, and that turns on again, and it should continue where it left off. Now, if this is picking it up, I don't know whether that's normal or not, but if the camera is picking it up, it's like it's condensation inside the screen. I'm gonna wait for it to finish because I don't want to press anything. It's, well, can't really see. I think it's about 9 minutes, is it? I can't see very well. But I'm just going to wait for it to finish, and then I'll have a look, see if there's anything I can do about that, in case there's a screen I haven't taken off or something. So I'm just going to leave it where it is for now. Right, here we are. It is done. Oh, there we go. I'll take that out a minute. I'm not very happy about that steam on the inside of that screen. I'm just going to turn it off. It says turn it off on the main switch, which is underneath. So I've turned it off. I'm going to see how well that clears, if it clears. Right. So I've got to turn this out. I don't even know if that's, is it moving? Ah, right, hang on, where's my handle? So if you look here, those two holes, that is where I remove the, well, I called them the noses, but those little so if these had stayed inside the bread as it was baking, you can imagine how it would rip the bread as it was coming out of the tin. It would just rip and damage the bread. So you'd have holes in it. So it would be wasted bread, waste of a slice. So that's why I took these out before it started to bake. So I've just got those two little holes there now. So let's turn the loaf over. Now it seems quite evenly raised, really. Probably didn't help with me poking around to get those things out. It's not as pretty as perhaps it should be. If I'd have left it to do its thing without poking around to get the kneading, whatever they're called, the pedals. So if I'd have left it alone, the top probably would have been prettier, but I'd have ripped all the bottom out. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So the machine itself's easy to use, it's straightforward. Just make sure that you read the instructions on whatever setting that you've got it on, so you're using it properly. As I say, that bit on the screen is a little bit concerning, the steam. I was wondering whether there might have been like a bit of film on the screen. Sometimes they have protecting film on, don't they? But it isn't. Can't feel anything on there at all. So overall, looks okay. I'm obviously not going to cut it while it's still hot. But so far, so good. Right, get yourself a decent bread knife. That's my advice. So I'm going to go for this side because it's the weirdest looking. So I'm just going to have the... Hell. So I'm going to put a bit of butter on that. I'm going to have that for my supper.